She poked and prodded, smug in her superiority, until the human bit her, staking his claim. Doctor. Savatellin's claws dug into Evan's jaw, twisting his head side to side. Cold medbench lights glared down, straps pinned his arms, legs, and torso. She leaned in, her iridescent scales shimmering under the sterile glow, 4 eyes narrowing. Primitive mandible structure, she muttered. Fascinating tensile strength. Evan clenched his teeth. Pain shot through his neck, but he kept his voice level. Stop poking. Now. Her lips curled, revealing needle-sharp teeth. Specimens do not issue commands, human. Your species' aggression markers demand sedation for safety. She reached for the injector gun on the tray. Evan twisted his right wrist once. The strap's quick-release latch popped free. Standard recovery tech override he'd spotted on intake. His hand shot up, grabbed her forearm. Sava froze, her scales rippled in surprise. Impossible. Those are mil-spec restraints. Evan held firm. Not squeezing, not for me. Untie the rest, or we talk this out. She snarled and slammed the injector's needle toward his neck. Compliance denied. Evan lunged. His teeth clamped her wrist mid-plunge. Not a mole. Precise pressure. Canines sinking just enough to mark. Warm, metallic blood hit his tongue. Sava shrieked, yanking back. The injector clattered to the floor. Red welts formed instantly on her blue-green skin. Perfect imprint. Human upper and lower canines unmistakable. Alert. Claim injury detected. Station alarms blared. Lights flashed crimson. Section 47B. Predatory bonding protocol engaged. Quarantine lab bay immediate. Sava staggered back, clutching her wrist. Her 4 eyes widened in horror. No, you feral beast. That's a claim bite under Vexari law. Evan spat blood and sat up, snapping the other wrist strap with a flick. You poked first. I warned you. The door hissed open. Marshal Vec Rin stormed in, plasma baton crackling. His armored exosuit hummed, mandibles clicking. Dr. Telm, report. Sava thrust her wrist forward. This human attacked. Sedate it now. Vec scanned the bite with his wrist pad. Holodisplay flickered. Asterisk claim confirmed. Cross-species validation. 98.7%. Bonding pair, isolated per statute. Evan raised his hands, palms out. Self-defense. She strapped me down unprovoked. Vec's mandibles snapped. Human lies. Your kind are Space Orcs. Uncontrollable predators. Sava nodded furiously. Destroy the sample before it spreads. Evan stood slowly, muscles coiled but loose. He eyed the injector on the floor. Neutralizer vial still intact. Scan the logs, Marshal. I checked restraints first, offered to talk. Vec hesitated, then synced his pad to the lab console. Footage played. Evan's warning, the twist, the bite. No thrashing, no rage, controlled. Restraint, noted, Vec grunted. But the bite binds you. Vexari code treats it as mating claim. Legal pair status. You share quarters, duties. Until dissolution trial. Sava recoiled. Absurd. I'm station xenobiologist. Status 7. Not yoked to this, ape. Evan shrugged. Your law. Your problem. Alarms escalated. Hull breach in hydroponics. Containment failure. Vexcom buzzed. Priority 1. Invasive spores from Andromeda Drift. Labs locked down. Sava paled, scales paling to gray. My research wing, the human samples. Evan stepped forward. I fix recoveries, hull seals, biocontainments. Let me work. Vec eyed him. You, unproven. Prove me. Evan nodded at Sava's wrist. Or watch your station choke. Consul Mara Ilyes burst through the door next, human sharp suit crisp amid chaos. Evan Rook? Status? Evan jerked a thumb at Sava. Bitten my way into partnership. Stations venting spores. Mara scanned the hololog. Lips thinning. Claim bite precedent. Upheld in 3 cases. No execution. But Vexari biology amplifies it. Pheromones trigger pair bond. Dr. Teln, you're stuck with him. Sava hissed. I demand separation. Mara arched a brow. Law says no. Dissolution needs mutual consent or trial. Work it out, or lose your clearance. Vec shoved batons at them. Move. Hydroponics now. Prove utility or both detained. Evan grabbed his kit from the bench. multi-tool, seal gel, breather mask. Sava snatched her analyzer, glaring daggers. They raced down pulsing corridors, alarms wailing. Spores billowed from a cracked bulkhead in hydroponics. Vines writhed, alien pollen clogging vents. Techs choked behind force fields, Sava scanned. Andromedan mycoids, airborne vectors, fatal to Vexari lungs in minutes. Evan pulled his mask. Seal the breach first, your lungs? She scoffed, donning a flimsy station breather. Superior filtration. He snorted, prying the panel. Not for this. Gimme your analyzer. She clutched it, my tool. Spores thickened. A tech convulsed, scales blistering. Evan twisted toward her. Data now, or we die arguing. Sava thrust it over. He synced his multi-tool, human recovery hack overriding alien protocols. Display lit, weak seam at hull join, pressure differential. Got it. Evan slapped seal gel, pumped hardener. Hull groaned, then sealed with a hiss. Sava blinked. How? Vexari sealant fails at that velocity. Human gel sticks to anything. He vented the chamber next, cycling clean air. Tex gasped, recovering. Vec arrived, mandibles agape. Containment holding, casualties 0. Sava probed her wrist absently. Bite throbbed, warmer now. Pheromones? Her scales flushed violet. Vexari arousal flush. She yanked her sleeve down. Evan caught it. Eyes steady. You good? She straightened.
Adequate. Your competence surprises.
Mara Komed in. Good work. Trial delayed 72 hours. Pair duties assigned. Joint research on human durability. Vec grunted approval. Human restrained itself. Utility confirmed. But watch the teeth. Evan wiped spore residue, meeting Sava's gaze. Her four eyes held less smugness now. Wary respect. Back in assigned quarters. Cramped. One bunk. Shared console. Sava paced. This bond, Vexari males claim with bites to deter rivals. Predatory anchor. Yours. Mimics it perfectly. Evan leaned against the wall. Arms crossed. Didn't plan it. You swung first. She stopped inches away, sniffing. Your scent changed. Post-bite markers. Biologically, your apex. We underestimated. He didn't flinch. Humans adapt. You poke, we bite back. Partners now. Sava's claws brushed her wrist. Eat built. Reluctant. But station needs us. Klaxon blared again. New breach. Engineering. Evan grabbed his kit. Sava fell in step. Analyzer ready. She glanced at him sidelong. Together then, he nodded. Trust sparked. Hard-earned. Fang deep. But as they ran, Sava's pad pinged. Asterisk bond pheromones at 47%. Escalation imminent. Asterisk her scales burned hotter. The quarantine door hissed open. Marshal Vec Rin stormed through. Shock lance leveled at Evan's chest. His armored crest flared red. Vexari rage signal. Down, specimen. Knees now. Evan dropped. Knees hit the deck plating with a thud. He laced fingers behind his head, palms out. No sudden moves. Heart pounded steady. Breathe even. Vec advanced, lance humming. Four eyes scanned Evan top to bottom, mandibles clicking, expecting snarls, claws, bloodlust. Found a human in compliance pose. You bit her. Apex breach. Hold still. Sava clutched her wrist behind him. Blood welled through scales. Her voice sliced sharp. Marshal Rin! Euthanize it immediately. Claim bite violation. Predatory override. Station Protocol 47B. Evan kept eyes forward. Voice level. Self-defense. She attacked first. Request translator implant and counsel. Diplomatic code 19. Alpha. Vec froze. Lance tip hovered an inch from Evan's throat. It speaks procedure? Crest flickered orange. Confusion. He tapped his comm. Security log. Human detainee cites law. No resistance. Sava shoved forward. Claws extended. Irrelevant. Vexari claim bite triggers biological lockdown. His teeth mimic apex markers, pheromones flooding my system. It's a monster. Evan felt the air thicken. Her scent shifted, muskier, heated. Vexari flush, he stayed locked, unmoving. Emergency override. Human recovery tech Evan Rook, serial H4472. I neutralized a spore breach. Check logs. Vec's secondary eyes swiveled to the console. Spore residue smeared the panel. Dead vines slumped in the corner. Evan's handiwork. Marshall grunted. Containment verified. But the bite. Predatory escalation. Sava's tail lashed. Scales deepened violet. She probed the wound. Markers binding. Legal euthanasia now? Or station risks hybrid claim? Evan counted breaths. 1. Vec's lance pressed skin. Electric tingle. No panic. Humans trained for this. Council, now. Comm crackled. This is Consul Mara Ilias, Terran Embassy. Patch me in. Human voice crisp. Vec's crest twitched. Consul, your pet bit of Xari lead researcher. Self-defense footage uploading. Review it. Human Rights Treaty, Article 12. No euthanasia without tribunal. Delay execution 72 hours. Sava hissed. Treaty doesn't cover apex instincts. His saliva. It's anchoring. Evan heard her pace. Boots scuffed. Her breathing quickened. Bond thing? He filed it. Survive first. Vec retracted the lance a fraction. Evidence pending. Quarantine protocol. Both parties isolated. Adjacent cells. Biomonitored. He keyed cuffs. Energy bands snapped around Evan's wrists. Cold hum. Move. Evan rose slow. Hands visible. Marched ahead. Sava snarled, but complied. Vec herded them down sterile corridor. Bulkheads gleamed under blue emergency strips. Air recyclers whirred louder. Pheromone scrubbers kicking in. Cell doors parted. Vec shoved Evan into left bay. Transparent wall separated Sava's right. Doors sealed. Locks clunked. Evan scanned his space. Bunk slab. Console. Water dispenser. No weapons. Standard hold. He sat on the bunk edge. Watched Vec outside. Logging. Sava paced her side. 4 eyes bored into him. You mimic perfectly. Vexari males bite to claim. Deters rivals. Triggers loyalty pheromones. Yours, stronger. My scales burn. Evan met her gaze. Steady. Accident. You swung a probe like a club. I blocked. Teeth grazed. Liar. She slammed the wall. Transparent alloy vibrated. Apex response. Humans hide it. Space Orcs, they whisper. Underestimated. Console beeped. Mara's face appeared. Split screen. Both cells. Sharp features. Diplomat bun. Evan status. Secure. No injuries. He tapped cuffs. V's off for tribunal. Working it. Sava, your labs confirm self-defense spores? Sava crossed arms. Tail coiled tight. Spores neutralized. Competently. But the bite. Scans show 23% bond initiation. Irreversible without counterserum. Mara nodded. Precedent? Zyfari incident? 2247. Mutual bite resolved via partnership duty. No euthanasia. Vac loomed behind. Partnership with an apex? Evan flexed hands. Cuffs loosened. Remote release? Mara's doing. Utility proven. Spore breach contained solo. Sava stopped pacing. Claws retracted fractionally. Solo? How? Vexari teams fail those. Recovery tech. Cut power. Vent atmosphere selective. Manual purge. Evan stood. Demonstrated air seal grip on his bunk edge. Humans adapt. Vec grunted. Crest settled neutral. Restraint noted. No rage post-lance. Utility possible. He eyed Sava. Monitor pheromones. Tribunal in 48. Doors stayed shut. Vec departed. Footsteps faded. Mara's image lingered. Evan, play nice. Bond myths exaggerate. Focus on survival data. Sava, share scans. Sava waved it off. Screen blanked. Silence stretched. Evan leaned on wall, watched her. She probed wrist again, flushed deeper. Why no fight? Apex would shred cells, pointless. He sat, solve problems, not cages. She mirrored Bunk Creek. 4 eyes narrowed. Competence, not savagery. Sniffed air vents. Your scent carries. Markers rising. Evan caught it too. His own sweat mixed alien spice. Ignore. Tell me protocol. Get us out faster. Sava hesitated. Claws tapped console. Data flowed, shared screen. Tribunal weighs biorisk. Intent. Utility. Apex tag kills most. Self-defense precedent. He cross-referenced mentally. Terran logs matched. Hours ticked. Console synced reports. Sava dictated scans. Evan logged human vitals. Her voice softened edges. Your pulse. Steady under lance. Vexari would spike. Training. He uploaded purge schematics. Use this for next breach. She accepted file. Tail flicked approval. Reluctant accept, but why share? Partners till free. Pheromone alert pinged her pad.
Astrobond at 12%. Monitor.
Asterisk. Sava flushed hotter. Backed from wall. This complicates. Evan nodded. No flinch. Trust built slow. Through data, not teeth. Klaxon blared station-wide. Hull breach. Sector 7. Vex's voice boomed comms. Quarantine hold. Teams deploy. Sava bolted up. Spore vectors again. Evan stood. I fixed last. Let me... Negative. Vex cut in, but hesitation. Utility confirmed. Stand by. Sava eyed Evan, wary spark. He contained prior. Marshal. Release for joint. Vex paused. Feed showed his crest shift. Risky. But evidence. Cuffs dropped. Door hissed. Evan grabbed kit from locker. Prepped earlier. Sava fell in. Analyzer out. They moved as unit. Her scales brushed his arm. Electric. Pheromones spiked alert. 17%. Proximity caution. Asterisk no time. Breach waited. Evan sealed first rupture. Sava scanned clean. Vex watched. Lance low. Human. Effective. Sava nodded. Eyes held respect. Underestimated. Back in cells. Temporary now. Consoles linked permanent. Mara, Comed. Trial delayed 72. Pair duties. Human durability research. Vex approved grunt. Watch teeth. Evan wiped residue. Met Sava's gaze. Less smug. Wary alliance. Quarters reassigned. Cramped. Shared bunk. One console. Sava paced. Bond truth. Vexari claim deters rivals. Predatory. Yours mimics. Apex. Didn't plan. Evan leaned wall. Arms crossed. You. Swung. She stopped close. Sniffed. Scent shifted. Markers. Biologically apex. He held ground. Adapt. Poke. Bite back. Partners? Claws brushed wrist. Heat rose. Reluctant. Station needs. Klaxon again. Breach. Engineering. Evan snatched kit. Sava matched stride. Analyzer ready. Sidling glance. Together. He nodded. Trust kindled. Fang earned. Pad pinged hers. Astrespond 47%. Escalation imminent. Scales blazed. They ran. Evan burst through the engineering hatch. Steam blasted his face. Alarms screamed. A plasma conduit ruptured, spewing blue fire across the deck. Sava shoved past. Analyzer thrust forward. Her tail lashed conduits. Evan. Left flank. Seal it. He dropped to one knee. Kit snapped open. Clamp wrench in hand. He torqued the valve. Metal groaned. Fire licked his glove. Heat bit skin. He ignored it. Twist. Lock. Flames guttered. Sava's claws danced over her device. Containment at 82%. Boost. Evan yanked the secondary line. Human grip crushed the fitting. No slip. Sealed. Steam hissed final defeat. Silence crashed in. Only their breaths. Her scales gleamed sweat slick under emergency lights. Bond pad on her wrist pulsed 52%. Clear. Evan stood. Wiped soot from his jaw. Vex loomed in the hatch. Lance lowered. Report. Fixed. Sava pocketed analyzer. Crest flattened. Approval. Human precision matched my scan. Vex's eyes narrowed on Evan. Teeth next time? Evan met the stare. Calm. Only if swung at. Sava's tail flicked. Brushed his leg. Electric jolt. She stiffened. Quarters. Now. Debrief. They marched back. A cramped corridor forced shoulders close. Her scent sharpened. musk and ozone. Pheromones? His pulse kicked. Quarters door sealed. One bunk, one console. Shared hell. Sava yanked her collar aside. Exposed the bite mark on her neck, purple scales bruised black. Scan this, now. Evan leaned against bulkhead. Arms crossed. Watched her work. Analyzer hummed against skin. Her face twisted. Crest spiked high. Venom response markers. She hissed. Eyes locked on readout. In my blood. Human saliva triggered it. He shrugged. Explains the itch you gave me earlier. She whirled. Claws flexed. Explain. Bite force. All. Evan uncrossed arms. Stepped closer. Air thickened. Humans max at 1200 psi. Jaw like vice. You swung. Clubbed my ribs. I targeted soft tissue. Neck. Avoided bone. Arteries. Contamination risk low that way. Clean break. No deep bacteria transfer. Her pupils dilated. Scales flushed deeper blue. Apex calculation. Predatory efficiency. Not predatory. He held her gaze. Steady. Survival. You caged me. Poked. Expected break. I fixed your breaches instead. Analyzer beeped. Data scrolled. She scrolled station law feed. Claws tapped furious. Protocol match. Vexari. Claim bite. Triggers bonding directive. Evan frowned. Claim what? She thrust pad at him. Text glowed. Asterisk claim. Bite predatory marking deters rivals. Legal contract. Handler assignment mandatory. Escalation prevents war clan response. Asterisk his jaw tightened. On your books, bite's not assault. It's a contract. Sava recoiled. Tail coiled tight. Binding. You claimed me. Door chime cut in. Vec entered. Mara followed. Human liaison. Sharp suit. Datapad ready. Marshal. Sava straightened. Voice steel. Protocol invoked. Humans bite. Vec raised crest. Lance tapped floor. Confirmed. Feed. Reviewed. Bonding claim active. You handle him, Dr. Teln. Prevent escalation. Mara smirked. Precedent holds. No war. Pair duties expand. Durability trials. Shared quarters enforced. Evan glanced at Sava. Her scales blazed crimson. Heat radiated. Bond pad, 61%. Objection. Sava snarled. Counter serum. Neutralize. Vec grunted. Administer. Monitor. Medkit hissed. Sava jabbed hypo into her arm. Serum flooded. She exhaled sharp. Analyzer pinged. Her eyes widened. No. Intensified. Markers doubled. Bond response amplified. Evan felt it too. Air hummed. Her scent coiled around him. Protective urge stirred. Unwanted. He clenched fists. Vex lance rose. Proximity enforced. Fail. And claim escalates. Station law. Mara nodded. Evan's utility proven. Breaches sealed twice. Let them work. Door sealed. Alone again. Sava paced. 2 steps wall to wall. Stopped inches from him. Claws grazed his wrist. Heat surged. This mimics Vexari Apex bond. Predatory. Yours stronger. Uncalibrated. He didn't pull away. Adapt. You scan, I fix. Partners beat cages. Per breath hitched. Pupils locked on his mouth. Bion said. Fangs remembered. Underestimated. Human restraint. Extraordinary. Klaxon blared. Console flashed. Caster call breach. Sector 7. Evan snatched kit. Move. She matched stride. Analyzer ready. Tail brushed his calf. Intentional? Bond 68%. They sprinted. Hatch buckled ahead. Debris floated in zero drift. Pirates? Sabotage? Evan magna boots locked. Pulled struts. Muscles burned. Human leverage pried metal. Sava scanned hull. Microfracture chain. Explosive residue. Seal chain. He slapped patch gel. Spread fast. Her claws guided analyzer beam. Welded seams. Vec calmed. Status, together. Sava snapped. Contained. Evan torqued final brace. Hull groaned solid. Vacuum whine died. Back and flow. Her shoulder pressed his. Panting synced. Effective, she murmured. Claws lingered on his arm. Bond 72%. Rising, he nodded. Wiped gel from hands. Yours scans fast. My grip holds. Quarters again, tension thicker. Sava slumped on bunk. Exposed neck throbbed. Serum failed. Protocol locks us. Evan sat edge. Space tight. Her heat pressed. Explain claim full. Vexari evolution. G-traced bite scar. Voice low. Bite claims territory. Mate. Rivals back off. Or die. Legal shield. Station honors. Yours. Triggered true response. Pheromones bind. He inhaled. Her musk invaded. Stirred instincts. Protective. Possessive. Didn't mean contract. Intent irrelevant. Claws hooked his sleeve. Pulled closer. Biology enforces. Bond pad screamed. 79%. Imminent peak. Door pounded. Vec. Trial prep. Durability test. Both. Sava rose, but hesitated. Hand on Evan's chest. Felt heartbeat. Strong. Steady. Together. Engineering lab waited. Vec strapped Evan to rig. Force simulators hummed. Prove utility or claim severs. Mara watched. Law protects. Show restraint. Sava manned console. Eyes wary. Evan. Endure. Simulator clamped. Pressure built. 5G. 10G. Evan breathed even. Muscles locked. No crack. Aliens gasped. Vex crest spiked. Human baseline. Orc level. 15G. Evan gritted. Vision tunneled. Held. Sava killed Sim. Unstrapped him. Claws shook. Extraordinary. Bond. 85%. Beck grunted respect. Handler confirmed. Pair research. Human Vexari synergy. Mara smiled. Trial delayed. Indefinite. Alone post-test. Sava cornered him. Back to wall. Body flush. Scales fever hot. Pheromones peak. Claim solidifies. Evan gripped her arms. Gentle. Firm. Restraint. Yours first. She leaned in. Lips brushed jaw. Fangs grazed. Not bite. Trust earned. Fang to fang. Heat exploded. Bond pad. 92%. Lock imminent. Console blared. Asterisk. Core overload. All hands. Asterisk. Evan grabbed her claw. Pulled to door. Run. She matched. Tail wrapped his waist. Anchor. Partners. They plunged into chaos. Trust sealed in fire and fang. Her pad flashed final. 100%. Bond complete. Asterisk scales locked colors to his skin tone. Claim eternal. But Core waited. Pirates breached outer hull. Vex lance fired distant. Evan sealed path. Sava scanned threats. Incoming hostiles. Apex needed. He bared teeth. Smile feral. Never anger humans. Her laugh. First time. Claws intertwined. Together. Always. Marshal Vecrin slammed the safe room door behind them. Alarms wailed outside. His crest flattened against his skull. Stay. Pirates breach mid-deck. Bond pair priority. Contain pheromones. No provocation. Savatelin staggered. Tail lashing. Evan's hand gripped hers. Firm. Unyielding. Scales on her arm flushed his skin tone. The claim bond thrummed at 100%. Heat pooled low. She yanked free. Marshal, I command here. Release us. Vex eyes narrowed. Protocol 47. Bonded Vixeri enter frenzy. Human volatile. Shared quarantine. Prove control. Or stasis. Evan stepped forward. Calm. No flinch. Lock it down, Vec. We'll hold. Vec grunted. Bolted the door. His boots thudded away into the chaos. Sava whirled on Evan. Claws flexed. The room measured 10 paces square. Bunk, console, recycler vent, hissing faint. No windows. Red emergency lights pulsed. You. Human. This bond. Your fault. Pheromones overload my protocols. Evan scanned the space. Nodded once. Safe room. Good call. Pirates first. Bond later. He stripped his belt. Metal buckle gleamed. She hissed. Fangs bared. Status as station xenobiologist meant nothing here. Locked with a space orc. Her pad buzzed. Earlier report queued. Human savagery confirmed. Recommend cull. She silenced it. Evan knelt by the recycler. Air tasted stale. Filters clogged from battle smoke. Hygiene first. Your scales shed. My sweat bond's wrong. He dragged the bunk mattress across the floor, divided the room. Half his, half hers. Used his shirt to mark the line. White fabric stark against gray deck. Sava watched, arms crossed. Primitive territory marking, noted. Curiosity spiked. Humans. Baseline endurance, orc-level strength. But this? Methodical. He tagged zones with boot scuffs. Your side. Sleep, console. Mine. Repairs, contact rules. Announce first, no grabs. He met her eyes. Steady. Restraint builds trust. Her tail flicked. Instinct screamed, claim him, mount, solidify. But Vex's words echoed, frenzy risk. She paced her zone, scales itched. You presume authority. I study your kind. Claim bite was error, legal sever pending. Evan stood, belt looped in hand. Error sealed, 100%. Focus. Survive, the recycler wheezed. Louder, oxygen dipped. Her lungs tightened. Sava checked console. Hull breaches 3. Pirates deploy drones. Vec holds engineering. She glanced at him. Broad shoulders, no panic. Humans. Underestimated, always. He crouched again, pried open recycler's panel with the buckle. Wires sparked.
Failing filter coil.
Stripped insulation, yanked a red wire. Peeled casing with teeth, no tools, just competence. She edged closer. Boundary respected. Stop. Tamper voids warranty. Evan twisted the wire around the coil. Secured with buckle pin. Sparks died. Unit hummed smooth, air freshened, crisp. Sava's pad auto-recorded. She froze. Data streamed. Repair time 2.17 minutes. No schematics consulted. Human improvisation. Flawless. Her claw hovered over delete. Earlier report glowed. Savagery. Lies now.
She tapped. Deleted.
Recorded. Efficiency. 140% norm. Error fixed. Next. She tested the boundary. Slid a probe. Slim scanner. From her pouch. Extended toward his arm. Pheromone sample. Protocol. Evan's hand shot out. Intercepted her wrist. Gentle pressure. No bruise. Thumb pinned claw without crush. Announce first. Her pulse raced. Scales flushed deeper. Heat surged. Bond tugged. Trust layer forming. She could twist free. Bite. But his grip. Controlled power. Safer than her own claw. Boundary, he said. Released slow. Sava. Retracted probe. Stored it. Compliance noted. Human restraint. Anomalous. She sat on her bunk. Tail coiled tight. Outside, blasts rocked the station. Vec's voice crackled over intercom. Pairs secure. Drones inbound. Hold. Evan leaned against his wall, eyes on door. Tell me, pirates, weak points. She synced pad to console. Hollow flickered. Insectoid borders, carapaces gleaming. Critch, swarm, acid spit. Swarm tactics. Vexari lances ineffective close. He nodded. Humans hunt packs. Traps. Fire. Fingers drummed thigh. Planning. Sava's fangs ached. Bond pheromone saturated air. Her side, his side. But proximity forced sync. She recorded again. Subject demonstrates hygiene protocols superior to Vexari norms. Boundary respect prevents frenzy. Data piled. Her earlier smugness crumbled. Blast shook room. Lights flickered. Recycler held steady. Evan tensed. Incoming. Console blared. Drones pinged outer hall. Sava's claws dug into bunk. Instinct. Flee. Claim protector. But he stood ready. No roar. Just focus. Utility proven, she murmured. Pad updated. Bond synergy. Protective. He glanced back. Faint smile. Teeth flash. Not threat. Partners. Rules hold. Door rattled. Vec's voice. Status? Sava answered. Secure. Human repaired recycler. No incidents. Silence. Then. Mara inbound. Trial paused. Pirates priority. Evan crossed arms. Good. Now plan. She rose. Stepped to boundary. Announced. Data share? Held out pad. He nodded. Send. Ullo merged. Critch weak points, joints, vents. Human add, improvised flamers from conduits. Bond thrummed warmer. Trust edged in. Locked with Space Orc? He enforced safer protocols than her lab. Alarms peaked. Drones breached corridor. Vec roared distant. Evan bared teeth. Time. Sava's tail brushed line. Test. No intercept. Together. They synced. Her scans. His traps. Bond locked not just fang deep, but earned. But drones hammered door. Acid sizzled seals. Evan stripped another wire. Hold rules, or we burn. She laughed. Sharp, real, claws ready. Safer here. With him. Vec's lance fire echoed. Mara's voice cut in. Evan, law holds. Show them. Door buckled. Critch chittered beyond. Evan rigged charge. Never anger humans. Sava gripped probe, not scan. Weapon now. Prove it. Bond flared. Partners true. Explosion rocked. Door held. For now. Her pad flashed. Asterisk utility. Apex. Trust. Solid. Asterisk chaos waited. They met it. Consul Mara Ilyes burst into the outer corridor. Feed on console. Human sharp. Evan, Vec locks you bonded. Pirates exploit. I negotiate hull rights. Buy time. Evan patched calm. Mara, trap ready. Critch Vince weak. Vec grunted over line. Human plan, risky, Sava added. Synergy 92% pre-repair. Now 100 plus. Trust data. Then Vec. Execute. Evan sparked the wire charge. Door vented flame. Critch screeched. Acid boiled off. Sava lunged with probe. Jab joint. Shell cracked. Evan smashed drone with bunk leg. Precise. No waste. They cleared breach. Side by side, Vec arrived. Crest high. Bond holds. Utility confirmed. Mara smiled on hollow. Law precedent. Paired assets immune sever. Welcome, Dr. Tellin. Sava's scales matched Evan's flush permanent. Partners, eternal. Pirates retreated. Station held. But deeper hull groaned. Core stabilized. Not fixed. Evan eyed Sava. Next fix? Her claw took his hand. No boundary. Together. Trust sealed harder than Fang. Marshal Vec sealed the safe room again later. Pirates routed. But Bond frenzy rumors spread. Quarantine extends. Prove non-threat. Sava bristled. I am authority. Evan rebuilt barrier. Faster. Rules save us. Learned. Safer protocols. His. Pad final note. Asterisk human. Not orc. Guardian. Asterisk. Locked in. Bond. Unbreakable. Pirates gone. But Galaxy watched. Next threat loomed. They readied. Her laugh echoed soft. Never anger my human. He grinned. Never cage yours. Door stayed shut. Partnership bloomed. Lights died. Alarms screamed silent in the blackout. Evan's cell door, now their shared quarantine barrier, clicked open with a hydraulic hiss. He rolled off the bunk. Heart steady, grabbed the pipe clamp from his makeshift toolkit. Sava jolted upright across the room, her scales rattling. Power surge? No. Sabotage pulse. Locks dropped station-wide. Evan wedged the clamp into the door track. No time for words. He yanked bed frames loose, their metal screeching against deck plates, twisted them into a cross brace. Jammed it firm. Door wouldn't budge now. Comm crackled. Marshal Vec's voice barked through static. Dr. Teln. Quarantine wing compromised. Raiders inbound. Sedate the human. Security ETA 3 minutes. Sava's claws fumbled for the medcart injector. Her eyes locked on Evan. Wide. Frilled crests flaring. Human. Comply. Sedative protocol for specimens under threat. Evan met her gaze. Straightened. No. He tested the brace. Solid. That buys us time. Raiders first. She hissed, claws flexed. You are detainee. My claim bite binds you. Obey. Footfalls thundered in the corridor. Boots. Not station security. Evan scanned the room, medcart for cover. Vents above. Too narrow for Critch, but weak seals. He dragged a panel loose earlier, prepped for escape if needed. Sava froze behind the cart. Her probe trembled in her grip. Raider shadows flickered under the emergency strips, faint red glow now pulsing. "Behind cover," Evan snapped. He hauled her arm. She stumbled with him, scales brushing his skin hot. They crouched low. Door rattled. Brace held. First Raider kicked. Metal. Groaned. Second charged with a plasma cutter. Sparks flew. Evan breathed deep. Waited. Blade sliced the brace midpoint. Door buckled inward. Lead Raider lunged. Armored Hulk, Critch mercenary by the shell ridges, vibro axe raised. Evan exploded forward. Tackled low. Drove shoulder into the Raider's knee joint. Critch screeched. Axe swinging wild. Evan rode the fall. Arm snaked around the thick neck. Choked precise carotid pressure, not crush. Pinned the arm with his knee. Raider thrashed. Acid spit bubbled from mandibles, sizzling deck. No kill, just out. Sava gasped from cover. Her probe darted. Jabbed the exposed joint sealant. Shell cracked under the enzyme tip. Raider went limp. Evan released. Rolled clear. Grabbed the fallen axe. Two more Raiders piled through the gap. He swung low. Disarmed the first, axe biting the vibroblade clean. Second fired a stunner. Bolt grazed his shoulder. Numb fire. He charged anyway. Ducked the follow-up. Grabbed the shooter's wrist. Twisted. Bone popped. Slammed elbow into the faceplate. Down. Sava moved now, unfrozen. She lunged with the cart, rammed it into the door gap, blocked reinforcements. "Evan, vent." He nodded. Boosted her up first. Her claws scrabbled the edge. She vanished inside. He followed, axe slung over shoulder. Crawled tight. Air thick with dust and ozone. Corridor breach echoed behind, shouts in guttural Critch dialect. Vec's voice cut comms again. "Telm! Status!" "Alive," Sava panted ahead. "Human. Restrained lead without fatality. Non-lethal protocol observed." Evan smirked in the dark. Keeps questions down. They dropped into a subdeck maintenance tube. Red emergency lights flickered. Sava led. Her station, her maps in her head. Core access here. Sabotage originated there. Raiders want fusion regulator. Evan checked the axe charge. Half full. Trap them. She glanced back. Crests low submission flicker. Your restraint data exceeds models. Humans kill first. Not today. He rigged a tripwire from vent wire, linked to a loose power conduit. Low spark, not lethal. Flush him out. Pursuit clattered behind. Sava sealed the hatch. They ran. Tubes narrowed. Her lithe frame slipped easy. His broader shoulders scraped, but he kept pace. Alarms wailed anew. Station lights stuttered back in patches. Security klaxons. Conbuzzed. Consul Mara Ilias this time. Holo flickered on Sava's wrist unit. "Evan? Vec reports breach. You secure?" "Subdeck," Evan said. "Raiders pinned. Mara. Claim bite fallout. Quarantine leverage." Her image sharpened. Sharp eyes. Human diplomat poise. "Legal precedent holds. Sava's bite invokes paired asset status. No separation without council vote. Use it." Sava's scales flushed deeper blue. "I claimed him. Instinct. Now law binds us." Evan felt her claw brush his hand. Unintended heat lingered. They reached core junction. Raider squad, 5 strong, huddled at the regulator panel. Hacking code streamed on their pads. Evan signaled. Sava nodded, synced. He lobbed the axe, magnetized it to clang the wall. Distraction. Raiders spun. Sava vented acid neutralizer from a service nozzle. Mist filled the air. Their shells softened, vulnerable. Evan charged. Choke pinned the hacker. Wrist-locked the gunner. No kills. Methodical. Sava darted precise. Probes jabbed joints. Enzyme blooms cracked armor. One by one. Down. Last Raider bolted for the regulator kill switch. Evan tackled. Pinned. Yield. It hissed defiance. Sava pressed probe to the neckland. Paralyzed dose. Out cold. Silence dropped. Heavy breaths. Core hummed stable. Vec burst in with security swarm. Crest rigid. Scanned the downed Raiders. Non-lethal takedown. All intact for interrogation. Evan stood. Wiped sweat. Handed over the axe. Station secure. Vec's gaze lingered on Evan. And Sava. Human utility confirmed. Restraint exemplary. Sava stepped close to Evan. Claw on his arm. Firm now, not tentative. Data logs. Human apex response, not orc. Guardian. Mara's hollow grinned. Bond precedent sealed. Quarantine lifts partial, but paired protocols apply. Your assets now. Evan met Sava's eyes. Her frills relaxed, scales warmed against his skin. Partners, she murmured. He nodded. Together. But Hull groaned deeper. Pirate ship still docked outer ring. Core stabilized. Not fixed. Sensors pinged. Secondary sabotage. Vec crested high. Deeper threat. Human plan? Evan eyed the regulator, spotted the weak relay. Rig bypass. Sava, your probe for micro-welds. Mara, stall their marshal on Channel 3.
Sava's claw tightened. Trust.
Execute. They worked, his hands steady on wires, her probe precise. Sparks flew. Bond hummed. Relay clicked. Core surged clean. Pirates retreated. Docking clamps released. Station held. Vac sealed the junction. Bond frenzy rumors confirmed. Quarantine extends. Prove non-threat, long-term. Sava bristled. Claws flexed. I am authority here. Evan rebuilt the barrier panel. Faster this time. Integrated her enzyme seals. Rules save us, together. She watched. Crests curved. Learning curve. Safer protocols. His innovation. Her precision. Mara patched in. Law note. Paired assets immune to sever. Welcome to the team, Dr. Telm. Sava's scales matched Evan's steady flush, permanent now. Partners. Eternal. Evan sparked the final wire. Door sealed tight. No boundary left. Hull, quieted. Pirates gone. Galaxy watched. Her laugh echoed soft in the tube. Never anger my human, he grinned. Hand in claw. Never cage yours. Next ping. Incoming fleet signal. Not pirates. Inspectors. Bond, unbreakable. But tests loomed. They readied. Side by side. Restraint forged steel. Deeper groan whispered from the vents. Not over. Sava's probe hummed. Evan's clamp ready. Next. Together. Vec's claw slammed the tribunal dais. Human predator status confirmed. Claim bite violation demands execution. Now. Evan straightened in the restraint field. Blue energy hummed against his skin. He scanned the chamber. Tiered seats packed with scaled inspectors. Hollow screens flickering legal codes. Sava stood rigid beside the panel. Her crest flattened. No. Sava's voice sliced the air. She thrust her data slate forward. I invoke claim law subarticle 47. As station xenobiologist, I claim this human, Evan Rook, as bonded asset. Execution voids my authority. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Vec's frills flared red. Claim law requires biological trigger. Your bite proves frenzy risk. He's uncontainable. Evan locked eyes with Sava. Her claws twitched. Trust flickered in her gaze. He nodded once. Subtle, Sava bared fangs. Trigger acknowledged. Penalty on me. Inspectors, log it. The central hollow pulsed green. Claim registered. Restraint field flickered off. Evan rolled shoulders free. Vec lunged forward. Reversal! He's loose. Evan sidestepped smooth, grabbed a loose restraint cuff from the floor. Flicked it into Vec's path. Marshall tripped. Claws scraping tile. Laughter echoed from human-side observers. Evan ignored it. Stayed calm. Doctor, tell in. Revoke specimen classification. List me protected person. Now. Sava hesitated. Crests quivered. Inspectors leaned in, frills twitching. Her status hung on this. She tapped the slate. Reclassification. Evan Rook. Protected sentient. Responsible party. Dr. Sava Telm. Full penalty attachment. Signature sealed in enzyme ink. Irreversible. Vec scrambled up. Madness. Bond frenzy spreads.
Station quarantine. Doors hissed open. Consul Mara Ilyas strode in, human sharp suit cutting through alien robes.
Quarantine halted. Claim protection logged galactic net. Tribunal, stand down. Inspectors murmured. Mara slapped her own slate onto the dais. Precedents scrolled old cases, severed bonds, war escalations. Article 112, Mara said. Signed claims trump Predator labels. Sever this, you invite human fleet response. Vex snarled. Evidence? Evan stepped forward, pulled up his wrist log. Pirate breach. 2 hours ago. I bypassed core regulator. Dr. Teldell welded seals. Station saved. Hollow replayed. Sparks his steady hands. Her precise probe. Pirates fleeing. Inspector's crests rose. Sava's scales flushed deep blue. Vec crossed claws. Coincidence. Human restrained you both. Sava met Evan's gaze. Eat built in her frills. No, partnership. Hearing chamber buzzed. Lead inspector raised a claw. Testimony. Sava straightened. Mistake mine. Treated him specimen. Underestimated. She flexed claws. Humans? Restrain. Of. Claim bite forced truth. Request joint duty. No separation. Silence crashed. Vec's eyes widened. Joint? With Predator? Evan spoke low. Rules save us. Together. Mara smirked. Logged. Paired assets immune to sever. Lead inspector nodded. Approved. Quarantine lifts on proof. Joint duty. 1 cycle. Report progress. Gavel struck. Earring adjourned. Evan exhaled. Zava's claw brushed his arm. Electric. Bond hummed deeper. Beck cornered them in the corridor. Watch him, Talon. 1 slip. Evan cut in. Marshal. Your junction seals held. My design. Your install. Works both ways. Vec grunted. Frills lowered. Prove it long term. He stalked off. Mara clapped Evan's shoulder. Leverage her laws. Smart. Fleets inbound anyway. Diplomatic cover. Sava pulled Evan aside. Empty lab tube. Dim lights. Why demand protection? Could run. Evan met her eyes. Gold flecks in violet. Cage breaks trust. Yours or theirs. Her crest curved. Claw traced his jaw. Gentle. Humans. Patient predators. Heat. Flushed his skin. Bond tugged. Restraint tested. She leaned closer. Scales warm against his chest. Partners. Eternal. Alarm pinged. Vent groaned. Inspector's probe drone incoming. Evan grinned. Test starts now. Sava's probe hummed ready. His multi-tool clicked open. Side by side, they sealed the lab. Deeper scans loomed. Bond, steel tested, but whispers spread. Human tamed the claim. Or did she? Fleet docked. True inspectors boarded. No pirates this time. Evan wiped sweat. Protocol sync. Sava nodded. Claw in hand. Your bypass, my enzymes. Flawless. First inspector scanned the core. Anomalies? Evan pointed. Fixed. Pirate sabotage. Probe word. Clean read. Inspector's frill twitched. Human touch? Sava bristled. Ours. Vec trailed. Eyes narrow. Evan rigged a containment field tweak. Faster flow, less energy. Sava calibrated enzymes on the fly. Field stabilized. Contained frenzy samples. No breach. Vec logged it. Utility noted. Still watch. Mara patched from shuttle. Law holds. Push joint research. Bond data gold. Night cycle fell. Station quieted. Sava led Evan to her quarters. Forced proximity sealed. No escape. Door hissed shut. Her scent filled the air. Ozone. Spice. You saved me, she said. Crest high. Evan shrugged. Team. Claw gripped his shirt. Pulled close. No. Restraint. Competence. Lips, soft ridges brushed his. Bond ignited. Heat surged. He held back. Steady. She growled low. Never cage.
He kissed proper. Hands firm on scales.
Never break. Frills flared ecstasy. Scales locked. Night blurred. Dawn ping. Emergency council. Bond frenzy data demanded. Evan rose. Sava beside. Claws intertwined. Vec waited outside. Council. Prove non-threat. They walked. United. Council chamber loomed. High counselors frills imperial. Lead counselor eyed them. Claim upheld, but data. Sava projected logs. Pirate save. Core fix. Field tweaks. Evan added. Human norm. Improvise. Adapt. Counselor leaned. Demonstrate. Test chamber activated. Simulated breach. Vent spewing toxin. Evan dove, rerouted ducts. Sava sealed with probe, toxin cleared. 40% faster than Sim. Gasps. Vec nodded once. Approved. Counselor said, joint duty permanent. Station lead. Telmrook pair. Sava's scales matched his flush. Victory. But Deep Vent groaned again. Real this time. Evan's tool ready. Together? Her laugh echoed. Eternal. They charged. Bond. Unbreakable. Galaxy shifted. Inspectors whispered. Never anger the pair. Fleet signal spiked. Allies? Or, next test? Claws met hand. Forward. Evan slammed the vent grate aside. Sparks flew from ruptured conduits. Sava's claws scraped metal beside him. Pressure dropping. Core 2. He traced the fracture line. Human fingers found the weak weld. Shoddy repair. Pirate work. Seal here. I'll reroute power. Sava's probe extended. Nanites foaming the breach. Evan yanked backup cables, splicing with his multi-tool. Lights flickered, stabilized, hum returned. Vec's voice crackled over comms, breach contained. But scans show intruders. Sabotage crew, 3 signatures. Engineering deck. Evan wiped sweat. Sava's frills twitched approval. Her hand, clawed warm, squeezed his. Bond pulse thrummed. Council approval still echoed. Joint duty permanent, but instincts clashed. Her claim bite lingered on his shoulder, legal tether. His human restraint chafed it. Back in quarters, Sava paced. Scales gleamed under lights. Duty binds us. But your terms? Evan leaned against the bulkhead. Calm. Consent first. Always. No instinct overrides. You trigger. We pause. Talk. De-escalate. Her crest flared. Valnari bond demands. Human norm. He stepped close. Held her gaze. We choose. Every time. Or it breaks. She growled low. Frills settled. Agreed. Train me. Next shift. Training bay. Evan faced Sava. Hollow sim activated. Stress drill. Her claws extended on reflex. Mock threat. Breathe, Evan said, voice steady. Step back. Name the trigger. Sava hissed, retracted. Your scent spikes. Bond pull. Good. Now reverse. He crowded her space. Deliberate, human bulk loomed. She tensed, claws flexed, but repeated. Pause, consent. Frills lowered, claws sheathed. Evan nodded, under stress next. Vec entered, mandibles clicked. Hunt assignment. Saboteurs hit 3 decks. Sava's biosensors track pheromones. Your tracking habits, human. Evan's lips quirked. Street smarts. Fine. Sava synced her wrist unit. Pheromone trail. Acrid. Synthetic. This way. They moved. Station corridors dimmed for night cycle. Evan scanned boot scuffs. Disturbed dust. Left at junction. Fresh. Sava's sensors beeped. Confirmed. Heart rates elevated ahead. Vec flanked them. Rifle ready. Flank and contain. No kills unless... Evan held up a hand. De-escalate first. Cargo bay loomed. Shadows shifted. 2 saboteurs, scaled ragged, pried at a power node. 3rd lurked atop crates. Evan signaled. Sava released micro-drones, sensor net, pheromones locked. Freeze! Vec barked. Blaster fire erupted. Bolts, scorched walls. Evan dove, tackling the nearest. Human weight pinned. No punch. Just lock. Yield. The alien thrashed. Pirate scum? No mercs. Sava's probe lashed out, stunning the second. Vec covered the leader's perch. Evan dragged his captive. Leader's up top. Smells desperate. Sava nodded. Frills alert. Bio red. Armed. Cornered. Evan climbed crates silent. Human grip unyielding. Leader swung a vibroaxe. Evan ducked. Closed distance. Grabbed wrist. Twisted. Axe clattered. Eyes wide. Alien recoiled. What are you? Evan loomed. Voice low. Controlled. Bared teeth. Human threat display. Primal. Muscles coiled. Not striking. The one who ends this. Surrender. Now. Leader's frills collapsed. Dropped a data chip. Data's yours. We bail. Vec cuffed them. Interrogation. Good work. Sava approached. Claws brushed Evan's arm. Bond warmth surged. Your display. Restrained fury. Effective. Evan shrugged. Calculated. No blood. Quarters later. Sava dimmed lights. Bond deepens. Voluntary mark. Evan paused. Her claim bite healed, but pulsed. Your way? She knelt, crest low, vulnerable. Claws parted scales at her neck. Here. He leaned in. Not bite. Human equivalent. Kiss. Firm. Teeth grazed. No break. Marked with pressure. Scent. Sava shuddered. Frill's ecstasy flared. Yours. Scales locked to his skin. Heat built. Consent clear. They moved together. Night blurred. Dawn comms pinged. Consul Ilyes. Evan. Council data reviewed. Bond legal. Precedent set. But fleet signal traces to saboteur origin. Black site raid. Vex voice joined. Pair leads. Prove utility. Evan rose. Sava beside. Claws intertwined. Ready. They geared up. Sava's sensors primed. Evan's pack stocked. Tools. Trackers. Docking bay. Shuttle prepped. Vex saluted. No errors. Launch thrust hit. Stars streaked. Sava's hand in his. Instincts aligned. Evan squeezed. Consent holds. Sensors pinged. Black site ahead. Asteroid base. Pirate haven. Shuttle docked rough. Alarms wailed. Mercs swarmed. Evan breached first. Trail left. Scuff marks. Sava scanned. Bioclusters. 20. Armored. They pushed. Blasts whined. Evan rerouted a turret. Hacked midfire. Turned on foes. Sava's drones swarmed, disrupting shields. Path clear. Core chamber. Leader waited. Not the captured one. Bulkier. Frill's card. Teln, you claim a soft skin? Sava growled. Partner. Evan stepped forward. Data chip led here. End it! Leader laughed. Activated console. Self-destruct primed. Boom. Evan lunged. Tackled. Human strength pinned. De-escalate. Shutdown code. Sava interfaced. Nanites raced circuits. Override. Leader bucked. Claws raked. Evan held. Blood trickled. His. No rage. Locked gaze. Yield. Live. Frills wilted. Code Delta 9. Timer stopped. Vex team secured. Back aboard station. Medbay. Sava bandaged Evan's scratches. Claws gentle. You bled. For restraint. Evan met her eyes. Worth it. Council feed live. Alias negotiated. Human precedent. Bonds voluntary. Data proves. Counselor nodded. Pair elevated. Sector command. But Sava's crest rose. Private channel. Deeper bond. Beyond claim. Evan pulled her close. Kiss sealed it. Ours. Fleet signal spiked again. Larger threat. Claws met hand. Forward. Vec outside. Next hunt? Sava laughed. Eternal. Evan grinned. Galaxy waited. Never anger the pair. Shuttle alarms blared anew. Incoming hostiles. Fleet scale. Bond thrummed. They charged. United.